Alright, round 5, we're on the play. This hand stinks. Stinky, stinky poop. I only have one creature. We have the combo in hand. But we don't have any cantrips. This is effectively a Mold 6, so it'll become immense. While we have a Swift Spear to protect, our Mutagenic Growth to protect the Swift Spear. We don't have our green mana. This is actually not quite as bad as I've led you believe, but I think we can do better than this. Because we do need 3 mana to be able to execute this combo. I'm going to mulligan this. This hand is not much better, but I think because I get the Scry and I have the Street Wraith, I'm going to keep it and try to Scry land to the top. Okay, that's not good. Alright, well our hand does nothing right now. We need to draw a red-green fetch. Is this burn again? Well, we drew our land. We got our Wild Nacatl, and we have our 1/1 Death Shadow. Opponent did us a little bit of a favor there. We also have the Battle Rage in hand, so we could just have the win next turn. Okay. So if we Mutagenic Growth this, it makes it a 5/5. And then we can Battle Rage over. So we don't quite have lethal yet. I think the better play is just to play this Thoughtseize. And then I can bolt away the Swift Spear. And then the following turn I have Battle Rage available. Tarkus Command, Boros Charm, Searing Blaze. None of these really concern me. Because his hand is pretty heavy on 2s, like that's all he has. I'm going to go to 10 here from the Thoughtseize. He end of turn can Boros Charm me. So I just have to be careful with this Mutagenic Growth, basically. He can Boros Charm me, and I would go to 4. I'm sorry, I would go to 6. And then if he draws a Bolt, I'm dead. If I use... I think I actually take the Searing Blaze here, because if he Searing Blazes, that forces me to use the Mutagenic Growth, which would put me at 8. And he end of turn Boros Charms me, and then plays... He could draw another Boros Charm that would kill me, or he could draw a Bolt, which would kill me because he have Tarkus Command and Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I think Searing Blaze is actually the play. I'm surprised that he didn't Searing Blaze in response because of that. So let me get my snipping tool again. So yeah, the Searing Blaze represents 10. So I'm going to take the Searing Blaze. And I can bolt the Swift Spear. And he takes 6 and goes to 11. And if he plays Eidolon next turn and he had a bolt, don't think it would matter. He could Boros Charm and make this indestructible in response, but I would be totally fine with that play. Yeah, or Tarkus Command. I totally forgot about that. Can attack with this, and he would take 10 if he blocked the Nacatl, which isn't enough. Alright, I'll just pass the turn then. Or I can attack with the Death Shadow. I think attacking with the Death Shadow is probably the best. Okay. So if he drew a bolt, then I just lose. Eidolon, okay. I should have mutagenic growth in response, shouldn't I? Because now... Oh, okay, well it just doesn't matter. If he had the bolt, he would have used it last turn, so I don't need to fear the bolt. So I can pretty freely just take 6 here. Either way, like, this Death Shadow is lethal. Because this makes it an 8/8. I'm going to take damage from this Battle Rage. So he's taking 16 or 14 from this, so... Alright, so I think Pyroclasm was actually pretty good. If I did, all these people playing the Nacatl versions, bringing the Forest, bringing the Inquisitions. And we'll cut the Wraiths. The growths are fine, we'll cut the probes. And we could cut the last probe for the path, which I think would be fine. Submit that. Because Eidolon could be a problem. It could work for us or against us, just depending on how low we get. This is borderline. I have the Become Immense, I just need the Battle Rage. And I have Inquisition to get rid of Deflecting Palm. So I think for that reason I would want to sandbag this Inquisition. I would want to turn 1, play Nacatl, and then turn 2, Swiftspear, Inquisition, and then the Bauble. I'm going to keep this hand. And I'm just going to turn 1 the Nacatl. And I'll probably sandbag the Bauble. Just get extra damage with the Swiftspear, because even though this is a combo deck, and I do prefer trying to get the combo, I think in this matchup it's better to try to get my damage in as quickly as possible, because it is a race. A lot of times it's a race and you can't quite get the combo in time, so you just have to kill them regularly. Then again, Eidolon does actually incentivize us to play the bauble out. We could just like Inquisition and then Mishra's Bauble. Okay, Coddle. So I want to get black-green first, so the following turn we play Nacatl plus Swift Spear. So we'll go black-green Inquisition. And then if he doesn't have the Eidolon, that we won't play the bauble. Stinky being about this is that we should probably actually get black-red, and then we can fetch a basic forest with this Heath. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We still do have Step Links in our deck, though, so... it's something to keep in mind. Still think I'm going to do this, though, because it'll end up saving me 2 damage in the long run. Boros Charm, Searing Blaze, Swift Spear. So that Swift Spear's, the Searing Blaze is going to be a problem. That's the one that I'm going to take here. Blood Crypt, too. Why is he playing black? Is he playing like a Bump in the Night? Yeah, we just take the Searing Blaze so that it'll protect our Nacatl and our Swift Spear in the following turn. We'll pass the turn. We're going to hold this bauble here. Fortunately, our Nacatl, by playing this Blood Crypt, will only be a 2/2. But I'm fine with that. Okay, our opponent has played the Swift Spear and fetched the Scalding Tarn. Okay, Death Shadow is a great draw. And this changes my play because now I'm going to actually play the Stomping Ground. $11. And I know that he doesn't have a... at least I don't think that he has the Bolt right, so... I could hold the Mishra's Bauble to trigger the Swift Spear, so that I can cast the Become Immense on the same turn, because I have 3 mana and I'll be able to play Swift Spear plus Become Immense. So I play this Stomping Ground and then play Death Shadow and Nacatl, then these are both 2/2s. Neither of them can block. But if he attacks me, this Death Shadow gets huge and he would have to have another creature. I think I'm fine with this. Should make having this be a 2/2. I think I'm fine with that. Come on. And this still gives me the option of just fetching a basic force with the Windswept Heath. And I think I will just go ahead and play my bauble here. I'm going to see what my opponent's going to draw. Lava Spike. Okay, good. So now he has Boros Charm, Blood Crypt, Lava Spike, and one unknown. And I drew an Inquisition, which is good as well because that allows me to make sure that he didn't draw a Deflecting Palm the previous turn. Okay, so Lava Spike, Boros Charm. If I take this, then I go to 7, and I'd be dead because he has Boros Charm, Lava Spike, and a land. If I block with the Death Shadow, and he can Boros Charm in response, he Boros Charms his Swift Spear to give it double strike, or to give it indestructible, which means the Death Shadow dies. If I block the Swift Spear, then I go to 8. And he Lava Spikes me and has Boros Charm in hand, so I would not be able to fetch with the Heath anymore. So I think I have to block the Nacatl. But if I block just the Death Shadow with the Swift Spear, or I block the Swift Spear with the Death Shadow, and he gives his thing indestructible, I take 3 from the Nacatl, and my Death Shadow becomes a 5/5. If he does nothing, he just Boros Charms me, then that just grows my Death Shadow, and that's kind of strange anyway. I think the play is Death Shadow on the Swift Spear. This puts me to 8. It eats his Swift Spear, but it does mean that I can no longer take 3 and go to 8. Yeah, it means I no longer can fetch from the Windswept Heath. I can't fetch the basic forest. So I think I have to just throw the Nacatl under the bus. Because he's fine with letting his Swift Spear die. I go to 8, he Boros Charms me, puts me to 4. And then the Lava Spike would put me at 1, and I can't fetch, and I need to be able to fetch to combo off on him next turn. Yeah. Let's do this. Yep, Death Shadow's a 3/3 now. Of course, I did have this Inquisition in hand, which I kind of forgot about. That probably changes my line because I can Inquisition the lethal Boros Charm out of his hand. He would have just done it in response, and then I couldn't crack the Heath. Alright, so we drew Nacatl. I'm going to play the Heath. I'm going to play the Swift Spear. I'm going to play Inquisition, and he's going to respond by Boros Charming me. Probably. He doesn't respond. That's interesting. Very interesting. I'm very shocked that he didn't respond there, because that's 1 damage that he's missed. I'm going to take the Boros Charm. And now I can 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's not dead. But he don't have his Lava Spike. I could attack with both of these and then play the Nacatl off a basic forest. Or I can fetch, go to 7, and that puts it gives them like a live draw to something like Atarka's Command or Boros Charm. 2, 3, 4, 5. Guessing this Become Immense would put him to 4. I could just attack with a Swift Spear and pass the turn. Hold back the Death Shadow since he only has a Lava Spike. But I think that's getting a little too wary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If he draws 2 burn spells. If he draws a Lightning Bolt from my Wild Nacatl, I'm dead. Which we haven't seen any bolts yet. So I'm just trying to figure out how to play the odds. Perhaps I just fetch Forest and attack for 4 with the Death Shadow. This Become Immense would put him at 1. Because I can shock myself with the Windswept Heath. This becomes a 6/6. And it does 12, 13, 14, 15. He goes to 1. So if I had sandbagged that bauble, that would have been enough. Yeah, I think I'm just going to attack this with Spear. Puts me dead to Bolt. You know what, I'm just going to attack with both. I think that's going to be the best play. I don't think I can play scared. I'll get the basic Forest. Play the Nacatl, and I'll pass the turn. Rest in peace. That's interesting. Now my Become Immense is dead. That's the last thing I thought he would have brought in against me. But it does make my Goyfs awful. I go to 7, and this becomes a 6/6. And he has a Lava Spike in hand. I'm not going to block. So he still has a Lava Spike Mountain. If I attack everything, or with the Nacatl and the Death Shadow, he blocks the Death Shadow, takes 3, goes to 7. I think I have to do that and just hope to dodge. Should attack with both of these and go fetch a black-white. I have to watch my time too, I'm taking a lot of time. Alright, we'll trade here and I'll pass. And hope to dodge the bolt. Yep, that's fine. Block there. You draw a creature. No. Just slow roll me? Fine. Why would I slow roll, dude? Alright. Yeah, we're submitting this. Yes, we will play. Sounds fine. Keep it. Gonna go Nacatl first, and then Swiftspear. Pretty self-explanatory. Gonna go red-green. Play on Nacatl. Pass the turn. Nacatl Wars, okay. Double mutagenic. Okay, this is interesting. I think I'm gonna go get black-white. Oh, I can't get black-white with that one. What am I thinking? I can get black-green, but I think red-white's gonna be best just so I can have path. And the fact that this pumps it up to a 3/3. Let's play Swiftspear and get in. He's thinking. I think I'll just hard cast a mutagenic growth here. And I'll just hold the other one. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to get as many spells in the yard as possible for the mandrels. This next turn I can mutagenic growth and path and play the mandrels. Goblin Guide, sure. And Suspended Riftbolt. Passes the turn, okay. Basic Forest. That's good, because now I can hardcast mutagenic growth if I want. Path Nacatl. Attack. Blocks probably the Nacatl. Then he would take 4, go 3, and I can play this Hooting Mandrels after I have mutagenic growth. Or I can hold the mutagenic growth. But all these would be lethal if I just cast this mutagenic growth. Plus, this allows me to delve everything away. You have to be incredibly fortunate to survive from here. Yep, kills the Nacatl. Plays a Nacatl. Searing Blaze, and Bolt. So maybe that was an argument for not playing the other mutagenic. Come on. I don't know why my thing is doing that. He has to block here. And I get to hard cast a mutagenic. Alright, so despite my play mistake, we did win that match. So we went 3-2 with some pretty bad matchups, to be honest. But that's just how it goes sometimes. And so I'm going to try to do another series for you guys later on, so stay tuned. And I'll talk about how this deck might evolve with some of the new spoilers from Aether Revolt. So until then, see you later.